Hello, my name is Sebastian Jambroni. Today I'm going to give a short video about how I use Evernote. I am a student at the University of Greenwich in London, and so I guess this is going to be how Evernote can be used from a student's perspective. I've been using Evernote for about 2 years now, and I've got about 1,900 notes, so yeah, hopefully I can explain what I've learned over the years of using Evernote and some tips and tricks that might help you improve your process. So today I'll go over what is Evernote, little basics. I'll show you my notebooks and how I've actually arranged my Evernote account. I'll talk about my shortcuts and the way that I use it, the process that I go through to write essays and various things like that. And I will end with some tips and tricks about what I've learned along the way. So essentially Evernote is a service really that enables you to remember everything. It's sort of stored in the cloud and you can access it from your mobile, from the web, from computer. It's really, really, really good. They do a free version, which I definitely recommend you getting, evernote.com, and I'm currently working with the premium version, and that's on a Mac. I should explain. This is the Mac version, as I've said. Down the side here we've got the basic notes view, got your notebooks, tags, atlas and marketplace. My notebooks is kind of where you start, it's sort of like the broader picture. So essentially I've sort of divided my notebooks into, what is that, 6 sections? No, 5 sections. I've got administration, which is all my admin related notes, which is things like receipts and whatever it is, passwords, that kind of Wi-Fi passwords, all those kind of things. I've got an education stack, which is a stack of notes all to do with education, sort of notebooks within education. I'll show you. So if you click on my education stack, it'll come up with all my current education notebooks that I want. I've also got an inbox, which is my default place for sending in notes to Evernote, and that's essentially, if I was to quickly write a note, it would end up here, and then from here I would like to designate it to a specific notebook. So the fact that it's got 0 notes in it is great, because that's the ideal. You actually only want 0 notes in there. So for example, if I'm in a rush and I need to write a note quickly, it'll turn up here, because that's my default notebook, and then later on I can come back and go, actually, that note's about this topic, and then I can designate which area I'd like to put that in. Under personal, I've got these notebooks. So I've got holiday notebooks, things that I find interesting, media, personal stuff, social, and what I want to do and want to have. So what to do is like bungee jumping, whatever, and then what to have, I've got just things I want, pretty much. Of course, you can go to the all notes and you can see just a collection of all your notes. I should mention actually what you can put in Evernote. You can put everything in Evernote. PDFs, there you go, PDFs. You can record things, so here I've got recordings from lectures, screen grabs, Facebook things, whatever you want really. Here I've got so it must be a paper written, and it's a PDF, but it's photos, isn't it? So you can't really usually find, if you want to look for a specific word in a normal program, it'd have to be a text word. But actually, one of the most powerful features in Evernote is that you can search for words within photos. So let's just try this out. Brizira. Let's go out of this. Brizira. Let's go somewhere else. I'll show you. Compare my those. What's it? Briz. And look, it pops up with this specific thing, and it'll highlight exactly the word I was looking for, which is absolutely amazing, especially if you're looking for a specific word amongst your thousands and thousands and thousands of notes, which is great. Okay, on your sort of basic desktop here, you can see you have the ability to add some shortcuts to the top. So as I said, I'm a student at the moment, and what I'm really focusing on right now is the courses that I'm doing, obviously. So here I've decided to put, on my shortcuts, you can put whatever you like really. You can put notes or tags or actual notes, and that notebooks, tags or notes. So for example, if you were to click on dissertation, it will take me just to my dissertation notes. It will only show me notes that have been tagged, that have been in my dissertation notebook. Same with contemporary issues, enterprise, and so on. I've also got these two things down here. These are actually only specific notes. This is a feature that Evernote introduced recently. Very, very cool. So you can, essentially, once I click on this, it says my 3rd year assignment. So I can click on this and it'll take me to this specific note, right? This kind of acts as a table of content, you might say. So here I've got all the courses I need to do this year, but I can also here links, so I can link a specific course to another note. So if I click here, it's hyperlinked to the note about that topic. Let's try that again. So let's say I wanted to go here. Contemporary issues again. Oh, there you are. It takes me right to the note about that course, that specific note about that assignment, which is really, really useful. In my specific notebooks for a course that I'm currently doing, for example, now I'm doing a course on enterprise and events, right? So here I've decided to pin my most important notes to the top, and I've done this by turning them into reminders. So what I've done is in every note you can set a reminder. For example, let's say here, I can set a reminder and go, I need this to be done tomorrow. You see, and that will suddenly appear at the top, and that's for tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, it will say, pop up, and let's say psychology of successful entrepreneurs, or whatever. Take that off. So by pinning these two notes at the top, it enables me to quickly open them. So for example, I'm currently working on an individual essay on enterprise. So double tap that and bring that out here. So we've got a private note here. Actually, don't really show that to my private notes. Right. Okay. So I've got that current project that I'm working on over here. And one of the great things I use Evernote for is using it for references. So now to recap, I am looking at my delivery and enterprise and events. So you can get to this via my shortcuts, of course, but you can also get to this via education. That was again enterprise and events. So here you are. And so one of the great things, obviously, if you're in university, you know that you have to write a lot of essays and you need a lot of references. So one of the nice features here is that you can select a tag. So every note can have a tag to it. So for example, I tag all my references with reference and journal, if it's a journal, of course, not if it's not one. So Evernote works out that I'm in my enterprise and events notebook, and within that notebook there are a few tags which are shared amongst a lot of the notes. So for example, slides, I could look at slides and it'll show me all the enterprise and events notes I have with slides. So there you go. Here, for example, is a course I did the other day, and we could listen to the audio. Well, you can't really hear that. So that's good. You can actually have the two combined, which is nice. Gives you an extra feel. Anyway, so that was slides, but then if I wanted to, I could look for, say, references, which is, I think, far more useful. So I've collected references along the way, and I can slide through them and find all the relevant references that I think would be good for this course. And so that's sort of one simple way of doing it there. But if you wanted to get really complicated, you could go, for example, let's think, let's do dissertation, tag. And you need to learn these, but they're very useful. Comma, and you can go tag, and you can type in, say, journal. Oops, that's off. Now let's go reference. There you go. So that comes up with the same thing. Then you could also go specifically the word. Or can I? Let's have a look. There you go. So I'll bring up all the notes that I've got with the word experience, which is really, really useful, you see. Look at that, again within actual photos, which is really, really good. But yeah, that gives an idea of how I use Evernote. A couple of tips really that I think would be useful for a lot of people who are new to Evernote. There's a really useful email feature. So if you once you get your Evernote account, which is free as I said, if you were to pop up to the top here and find your account information, it will show you Evernote specific emails. So it'll be your username, dot a few numbers, and then at evernote.com, whatever it is. You can actually forward notes to Evernote, which is really useful from your email. So for example, we get emailed a relevant topic for our courses. I can forward that to this Evernote email address, and from there it can, in the subject line you can add specific directions of how you want Evernote to treat that note by using hashtags and the @ symbol. You can actually direct it to where your note should appear in your Evernote account. So if you put the @ sign and then the word of the name of your notebook, it'll put that note in that notebook automatically, and hashtags followed by a word will either create or put it in a tag, which is obviously the word that you use. A few other cool features: you can view notes by location. So you can be like, oh, what was that note I had? For example, let's go, what was it doing? Sorry, found it. So let's go, I was in Croatia the other day, and I was looking up places to go in Croatia. Let's try that again, some cool ones. This is interesting, I think, as well. So, Bulgaria the other day. My girlfriend's Wi-Fi password at her house, which I think is really cool, so I can just go there and don't need to worry about that again. Venice, what's it looking up here? Oh, an email that I wrote while there. So yeah, that's really good. Tags, obviously, there's a lot of tags I use. I used to be very tag focused. Got a bit complicated, so I moved to the notebooks approach. Yeah, so you can organise them via tags, which is very good as well. Is there anything else I need to say about Evernote? It's really good. Obviously, it all syncs automatically to your phone, where you have the Evernote account there as well. I think that's really a useful feature. There's also a feature called Sketch, which I think is really fascinating. It's a program which is connected to Evernote, and they've recently integrated it really well. So you could, for example, on this note here, we'd like to edit it a little bit. I can't think of an example where I use Sketch. Well, let's have a look. Does it find Sketch notes? Yes, it does. So, for example, or whatever. Oh, here's examples of how Sketch can be used, which is very cool. Oh, there you go. Here, this is how I use Sketch. You can actually just read through stuff and useful. Another way of using referencing stuff. Oh, sorry, I'm very tired. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish this up now. Yeah, thank you for watching. I love learning more about Evernote. So if you have any tips or anything, that'd be really useful as well. I think they obviously update it all the time. Evernote is really well looked after product and service, and I definitely recommend trying it out. Try the free one if you want first. I tried it for a few weeks and straight away upgraded because I thought this is definitely for me. Definitely worth doing, and I hope you enjoy it.